10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Personal Branding Summit, Africa's #1 global summit on personal branding. Earn, impact, influence.
Hello. You are welcome to the Personal Branding Summit. My name is Emeka Ebeniro. I'm your host and also the convener of this global summit. So once again, I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining. And as you know, in our usual fashion, please put it in the comments where you are joining in from. Yesterday, we had such an amazing summit. The opening of the summit was so incredible. We had Mr. Familusi Akim Babajide, speak to us of how be, the destination to be. It was such an amazing one. Thank you so much, Mr. Familusi Akim Babajide. And also what we realized yesterday was we had so many people tuning for the summit. We had people from Saudi Arabia, Canada, Ireland, the US, South Africa, and so many other places. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for day one. Today, day two, promises to be so much packed. We have 4 amazing speakers who will be speaking on how we can use our personal brand to sell our art. So if you're someone, you're a creative, you're a writer, you're a poet, you're a dancer, you're a singer, you're an artist, whichever art form you're a public speaker, today is for you. You will learn how you can use your personal brand to sell your art. Once again, I'm your host, Emeka Ebeniro, and a little quick introduction, a little bit about me. I'm a personal brand fixer and, of course, a tech entrepreneur. I've been doing branding and marketing communication for over 13 years, and I realized at the course of my journey, personal branding has helped organizations, helped individuals, and also helped nations push their agenda. We see it as a tactic within the organization strategy where they can use to grow their business and position themselves as the expert or the go-to place. And that is why my team and I came together and we decided, you know what, we need to move this narrative forward. We need to engage, educate stakeholders and also the public the importance of having a personal brand. And that is why we have the Personal Branding Summit today. Thank you so much, guys, for making this a reality. And one other thing, this is the first Personal Branding Summit out of Africa. We don't have such in Africa, and this was made possible thanks to you. So once again, thank you for being part of this. We'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll dive right into it. I'll see you after the break.
Personal Branding Summit 2021.
Earn, impact, influence. Personal Branding Summit would like to specially recognize Trisha Ipowomba, John Obidi,
Personal Branding Summit 2021.
Earn, impact, influence.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, this is the Personal Branding Summit 2021, and I'm your host, Emeka Ebeniro. You can call me Fire Emeka. My friends call me Fire Emeka. I'm also known as Play Emeka. I'm your personal brand fixer and, of course, the fire speaker. So today we have such amazing people in our midst. I'll bringing them up shortly. But before I do that, you saw that we gave special recognition to Trisha Biz, as she's popularly known, and also John Obidi. These two amazing people are using their personal brands to change the narrative across the African landscape. They're helping so many people, like Trisha. She's helping people build and make money through their knowledge. And John Obidi, of course, you know him as J.O. or Daddy J.O. as it's fondly called. He is also using his digital platform to change the narrative of Africa and equip us for this very competitive landscape. So guys, we appreciate you from the Personal Branding Summit, Trisha Biz, John Obidi. We salute you and we recognize what you're doing. So I'll be taking a short break. When we come back, guys, we have our speakers. They are right here. They are waiting. They want to get right in. I hope they're excited because we here are excited. So we'll be back after the short break. And next thing is you will see our speakers.
Personal Branding Summit 2021.
Earn, impact, influence. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Hugo,
Larry Lawal, Amuchi Ikemeze,
Michael Hugo.
Welcome, guys, to the Personal Branding Summit. Guys, we have the amazing Hugo, Larry Lawal, and Michael Hugo, aka Magic Mike. So to the Personal Branding Summit. We also have Amuchi. Amuchi is also here with us. So guys, if you're not too busy, put your hands together for these amazing individuals for making our time to be here. Welcome, guys. You're welcome to the Personal Branding Summit.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making it. So today, unlike yesterday, today is the panel session. So I have these four amazing speakers that will be taking us through their journeys and also telling us how we can use our personal brand to sell our art. But before we go right into it, I would like them to introduce themselves one after the other. So starting with Michael Hugo. So Michael, please, a little bit introduction.
Hi there, people. Welcome to the summit. I think it's day 2. Great to be here. Thanks for having me on, Emeka and the team. My name is Michael Hugo. I'm the CEO of Freemy Digital. Freemy Digital is a media company now. We have interest in the production space, the music space, the movie space, and the entertainment real estate space. So we have the arm of our business that's for music is called Freemy Music. Our production arm is called Freemy TV. We have a publishing arm to the business called FM Publishing. And our real estate entertainment business is branded under the Freemy space. So we actually play out across various segments of the entertainment industry. Thanks for having me on today.
Thank you so much, Michael. Yes, we have Larry Lawal. So Larry, please, can we meet you, sir?
Good evening. Thank you for having me, Emeka and the team. My name is Larry Lawal. I am CEO at the Bill Music Company. At the Bill Music Company, we are full breed entertainment company. We are into entertainment business development and talent management, basically. And at the Bill Music Company, we represent some of the artists you already know. I am also a partner at Clockwise Enterprise, music distribution and publishing arm of our business. And I'm also partner at Music Business Academy in Lagos. A platform where we teach and try to develop the upcoming people, making them understand the business of music. So making sure that they don't make the same mistake that we made. The journey that took us about 7 to 10 years to learn, we are making sure that they are able to understand and not make the same mistakes that we made. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Larry Lawal. And next we have Hugo.
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me in the cast. Thank you to the team. So my name is Hugo. I'm a partner to a brand support consulting firm, Videos Consulting, and what we do is brand communication, marketing, brand strategy, and all of that. And also, I'm a partner to UUTV. So I'm the program director. What we do at UUTV is a series of master classes. So we do brand communication master class, brand strategy, and all of that. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hugo. And finally, we have the lady in our midst. It is none other than Amuche. Amuche, can we meet you, please?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Emeka, for having me. My name is Amuchi. I'm a senior product manager with over 8 of experience in B2B and financial industry tech space. I currently lead the product management team at Transfer in the UK. We are more like a startup fintech company that specializes in sending money from UK to Nigeria, as well as from European countries to Nigeria as well. Then, aside from that, I'm also an active STEM ambassador here in the UK, where I tend to mentor, teach, and coach teams on all the available opportunities available to them in the tech space. Then, apart from that, I'm also a volunteer and a trauma survivor. So I use my experience to talk to people about that life is not like the end of life is not after trauma. So life after trauma. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Amuche. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. So right now we go right into it. So today's topic, so for the benefit of those that are just joining us, this is the Personal Branding Summit. My name is Emeka Ebeniro, and right in front of us, I have amazing speakers, trainers, and also entrepreneurs. They have done so many great things in the events, entertainment, and also branding space. Uche Hugo, Michael Hugo, Amuche Ikemeze, and Larry Lawal. So the topic for today is personal branding as a tool to sell your art. So I'd like to take the first person, Michael Hugo. We know you as Magic Mike. You are one of the founding members of Sony Music West Africa. Can you tell us from your own experience, the artists you've worked with, how have they been able to use personal branding to push out their music from the shores of Nigeria to the global scene?
It's a very wide question, to be very honest, very wide. I think that, if we're working on what I think is very, very important, I think that all my years working in this space, it's uniqueness. I mean, that's the best personal brand you can have, originality, right? When I'm looking to find an artist, or when I was running Sony Music West Africa and we were looking at opportunities with Wizkid and Davido, I mean, it was because they had made that name for themselves across the continent. They were unique in their own rights. They're two of our greatest Afro-pop superstars on the continent, but as everybody knows, they're quite different, right? They're not the same, right? Personality-wise, music-wise, yes, they sit in a similar, but they both demonstrate a level of uniqueness and originality. So I think the first and most important thing that I would advise anybody who's, undergoing a first-time branding or rebranding or looking for what that magic pill is, I'll definitely say uniqueness. I don't want to see another Wizkid. I can, if I want Wizkid, I can see Wizkid. If I want Davido, I can see Davido. If I want a Burna Boy, I can see a Burna Boy. So if you look at all of our, the array of stars across the space, you'll find that not many of them are actually, they're all unique, right? And then you find that over the years, there have been situations where people have actually come up off the ground who are super talented, who happen to sound like them, and they never quite make it just because of that lack of originality. So uniqueness and originality is very, very important. And that's what I would look out for and what I advise anybody who's actually trying to grow themselves to make sure they be unique.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. So in other words, be unique if you want to stand out and you also want to influence the African market. So from what you have said in being unique, I would like Larry to take it a step further. Larry has worked with Brimo and they've done so many amazing things. So Larry, briefly, can you tell us about the Brimo story? Why was it important for Brimo to switch his personal brand for more of a popular, should I call it popular Lamba Afro pop artist, to a very should I call it indigenous, very strong brand of Brimo we have now? Because the truth is Brimo cannot be placed in a box, so it's even difficult for me to kind of like place his genre or his style, but he's very versatile, he's very deep, he's very unique. So what was the process? What were you guys thinking about in building this Brimo brand that we know of today?
Thank you. I mean, this also goes to support what Mike has already said. It is being unique and being true to yourself. So at the point where we were deciding, or where we were trying to create the Brimo that you know today, of course, Brimo had been popular. You've already know, you all know him to be the Brimo who was on the song with Whiskey. I mean, sorry, with Ice Prince on Oleku, the same Brimo who did Ara, who did Good Morning. So I mean, he's your regular pop musician. But at that point in his career, there were drama, there were a lot of media controversies going on and all of that. So at that point in his career, there was need to define to define his brand. And for us to define his brand, for anybody to define your brand, you have to be sure. You need to, first of all, understand yourself. You cannot create a brand that you cannot defend at any. So whatever brand you're building, before you even create a brand, it has to be a brand that if I wake you up from sleep, you'll be able to defend this brand. It is who you are. It is who you carry. A lot of people may misunderstand you, but with time, people will get to know that, oh, okay, this is what this person understands. So we try to create a Brimo who, when you think Brimo, you think, oh, music, that guy, oh God, that guy makes great music. And today, at this point, we're even creating the Brimo that we've already sell the market when it comes to making music. Everyone knows that, okay, Brimo makes great music. So today, what we are trying to make you see is the performer, the Brimo, the performer. So it's about understanding, and there's process. You understand? So there's uniqueness in the sound that he made, the sound of music that he made. It took time, of course. It took us time to get into the person, into the mind of the person, and even for himself to understand that, okay, we can make pop music. Pop music last year, 10, 20 years, people would, shout your name. But after that, what happened? We know musicians who are 60, 70 years, who are still performing, who are still getting booked. Why do we have that? We have that because they make quality music and they are able to create a brand that, anyone can associate with. As you grow older, the children that we have now who are, say, like 10, 15 years, who may not understand the music that Brimo makes, will come when they are, in their 15 or teenage years. When they listen to the music, it might make sense to them, and then they can still buy that brand. So it's about creating a business that lasts, creating a brand that's, that will be able to sustain itself for a long period of time. So it's a process, but I mean, we're getting there.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Larry. Thank you so much. So up next, Amuche, talking about process. Larry has talked a lot about process and how they've been able to build the Brimo brand. So now talking about process from your experience, working with creatives, volunteering, and all the things you do, why is process important? Why is process important in, building your personal brand and using that to sell your art?
Okay, so thank you for that, Emeka. I'd like to echo what Larry and Michael had said about being authentic and being your true self. Because I usually say this, that you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you go through this life and not living your authentic self. And like I mentioned earlier to you, Emeka, when we were having a discussion, I did call out Josh Too Funny, right? As an example. He's been doing his kids like over the years, day after day, but then it took him just one day for him to appear on CNN. That is the process. So another thing is putting yourself out there, being authentic, and as well as consistency. You have to put in the work. So which is what I see in most creatives today, where they just want to, start something and just big bam and break into the industry. It doesn't necessarily work that way. You have to learn the craft. You have to go through the process. You can't jump the process. In any industry you even want to break into. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's ever been done, but then you have to go through the process in honing your craft so that when you look at the vision of where you are going to, okay, I want to be this person, say in the next 5 years. The next person should be, how do I get there? What should I do to be able to get there? And like Brimo, I followed him for a couple of years and I have watched him evolve day after day, right? He's just being himself, okay? And he might not just be the same thing with almost every other artist that we know about, but then he is Brimo. Be it 5 years, 10 years later, he's still Brimo. So he's being himself. Yeah, that's basically what I would like to add to that. In terms of process, is something that you have to do regardless if you like it or not.
All right, thank you so much, Amuche. Thank you so much for that. So you have to be authentic. You have to love the process. So right next is Uche Hugo. So Uche Hugo, we know you as a creative. You have been nominated for the Future Awards, and you've worked with several other creative. Can you please tell us how has that process been? Working with other creative, and what have you found out working with several creative? How have they been able to differentiate themselves from each other?
Okay, thank you very much. So yes, so I've been able to from growing my personal brand. I mean, for some years now, going to up to 10 years, 10 years of about, yeah, 10 years. So I've noticed something with creative because I've worked with it. Okay, I've worked with quite a number of artists. I've worked with quite a number of other creative guys in the space. Don't they're brand. They don't the thing is that they see themselves less. They really don't know that they are a brand. I mean, because for you to sell your personal brand, you need to believe in yourself. You need to know who you are. Quite a number of times people feel like I can't sell this thing. I don't know how to go about it. Not like because
Hey, we're having slight technical issues.
one thing is this is me. I know what I have. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. You're back.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So, so creators need to own who they are because they are personal brands and people watch them. Quite a number of people look up to them, and these personal brands are okay. Like for instance, we have what's it called? Guinness Nigeria recently signed this with young creative guys. And these people are young creative guys, creative stuff, because they believe who they are, they believe in themselves, they believe their brand, they own their name, because there's power in your name. You need to understand, you need to believe in yourself, you need to believe in your brand, you need to know who you are first before you can actually sell your art, sell your creativity. So during my time working with them and having a session with them, I understand. I just noticed that quite a number of them don't really understand that there is brand. And from that session, once they get, because at the end of the day, clarity is important. If you don't have clarity, you will miss a whole lot of things. But once you get that clarity, that purpose, that essence of you, that essence of your being, will unveil itself, then you'll start creating quite a number of stuff. So creatives need to understand who they are own their name, own their brand, believe in themselves that they can even sell premium. Because people put up premium and feel like, oh, I can put up premium. I don't know how to sell this. But you need to believe in yourself that, oh, you can sell this. Believe in your brand, believe in yourself. So first off, you need to believe in yourself that you can actually do something great with your name, who you are, with your personal brand. That's the thing. And other things, structurally can also come into place. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Hugo. So I'll quickly flip it back to Michael Hugo because of we're running out of time. I still have so many questions to ask. So quickly, let's make it as quick as possible. So Michael, through your experience, you've worked with so many people and you run the Free Me space. Now, you've talked about the importance of authenticity. Now, can you help us dive into positioning and visibility? How have you helped? I know that you're working with the cavemen. How have you helped, or what do you think is the process, or how is it important for creatives right here in Nigeria, anywhere in the world, to have the right visibility so that they can attract a global audience?
It's everything. Visibility, it's everything. You know, the music business is business, right? And in order to be successful in business, you need to have successful commercial viable propositions. So positioning in a market that, you know, everybody has their attention split is massively important. I mean, and you're not just fighting with other artists. There's only 24 hours in a day. I mean, you're fighting with brands, you're fighting with Netflix, you're fighting with YouTube influencers, you're fighting with all kinds of different competing interests throughout the day. So as an artist, you have to have that, you know, it still goes back to that unique propositioning. Why should I drop my Netflix program, or why should I, you know, stop watching this movie or this news piece or listening to another artist from the US and actually pay some attention to cavemen? So it goes back to that uniqueness, and positioning becomes vital. I mean, hand in hand with that is also budgets, right? It's not cheap, and it's not easy to actually compete with some of the better known home brands in our music space. So yeah, positioning is just one thing. Uniqueness is just one thing. You know, you need a kind of like an array of tools. So when it comes to actual positioning in the market, I guess you can look at it from two perspectives. You can look at it from that perspective of, okay, I'm coming up, I don't really have a budget. How can I actually make myself known? What can I do to put my stuff out there? And I would say that in this day and age, just creating content consistently, effectively, that actually adds value to the space is hugely important, because budget or no budget, hopefully at some point someone picks it up and you build a small community and you engage with that small community, whether it's 5 people or 10 people, and that community grows and you start to use other tools such as email lists, you know, get-togethers and different things to actually engage and grow your community. And that's how you build organically, right? But then you also have to look at things from the other perspective where, all right, okay, I do have a budget. How do I best utilize this budget? And, you know, it's great we live in a time that, you know, everything, well, a lot is digital, not everything, because there's still artists we work with, though we have to have pretty decent radio budgets, which is still analog, right? So again, it depends on where you're trying to position yourself in the market. So the Cavemen were a group that their positioning was as a live band, a contemporary high life band that play live music, right? So if you're talking about radio, TV, those things are there, but you'd rather a live opportunity to be able to try and build your fan base. Because of COVID, we weren't able to do that. So we actually had to leverage on a lot more digital and a little bit of radio as well. And then plus it did a lot of IG lives. Now, positioning, you know, understand your position, understand your DNA, understand who you're competing with in the space, and then you can craft something that can work. And yes, a budget is important, but in this day and age, you can actually build, you can actually get some visibility without a budget. Collaborations is another thing. But as you said, you know, this subject is quite deep and quite wide. There's a lot of different things to talk about on it. But consider both. Don't think you can't do something without a budget. And if you have a budget, utilize it efficiently, because there are great ways you can do that today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Like I always call you Magic Mike. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to go quickly over to Larry.
right? I'll tell people today, it's not magic. There's no magic going on. I think the key thing that whenever I look at that, when my name and I think about it, for me, it's about consistency, right? I feel like I keep going. I fail a lot. Maybe those ones aren't necessarily public. Some are public, but the magic is that believe in yourself and just be consistent. Simple. No babalawos here, no hocus pocus. Just work.
No babalawos here. Let's not forget you are the Bitcoin chief. Let's not forget you are the Bitcoin chief. Let's not forget.
I don't know about Bitcoin chief. I don't know about chief. I engage in the space. Yes,
Yes. We know that. We know that you always pushing the Bitcoin conversation. So thank you so much once again, Magic Mike. So I want to move over to Larry. Larry, Magic Mike has said the importance of building a community. And there is one person that I know that has been able to build an amazing community, and that's your artist, Brimo. The way you've been able to grow his cult following using organic means is something that should be studied in schools. I say it and I'll say it again. It should be studied. So please, we need to dive into your mind and pick out some of those things. How have you been able to do it? Build this brand from scratch and make it a global brand. How have you been able to do it?
Oh, sorry, my mic was.
Yes, Michael.
Yeah, but
yes, you can go on now. You can go on now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
thank you.
Can.
Okay. So like I said earlier, it is about you understanding your brand first of all, right? The what's it called? The brand itself, or the managers, the people who manage the brand, need to first of all understand their market. Then that way, you now know how to reach those people. You see, think about it. There's no way we will sell a Brimo brand the way we will sell a whiskey or a Davido brand. You understand? So, but it is easy for anyone to want to come into music and look at the Wizkids and then the Davidos and the top Afrobeats guys and want to be like them, right? It is quite easy for cavemen, for instance, when they were coming to decide to say they want to chase the same audience that Wizkid has. I mean, that is not to say that I cannot enjoy Wizkid's music and still love Cavemen, or I still love Brimo, or I still love to listen to Lagbaja. I can. But there are people who they will be your core fans. They will be your core audience. So you need to first of all understand your brand and then look for ways to reach them. Budgets, like Mike said, is very important. Now, in a situation where you don't have the budget, you look for other means to reach them. In our case, in fact, at the time we were building the brand, the Brimo brand was blacklisted, so to speak, in the industry. I'm sure you all know the story. You all know the drama of 2013. It was blacklisted in the industry. We had to look for other means, other method to get into the conversation. Now, the same people who blacklisted him are the same people who will now horn and praise him today. Now, bear in mind that when you're building the brand, be prepared to fail in the process. Like if you're putting in ideas, you're putting in this work, you're planning, you're putting together a concert and all of it. Till this moment, when I'm putting together a concert, I still expect that, okay, we expect 5,000 people. It's possible that we only see 1,000 people. You understand? I was in a what's it called, Clubhouse, in a room on Clubhouse some days ago, and some people were saying some nasty things about Brimo, and I'm like, okay, you're not a Brimo fan. I mean, this person was criticizing the project Brimo did in 2016. Now, why would he name the project what he named the project? It's 2016, my brother. So what I'm trying to say is be prepared to fail in the process, one, and two, identify your audience. Be sure before you even start, before you even move your first letter, or before you send your first email, be sure that, okay, this is what we want to do. And at every point in time, we'll be able to build from here. Now, when we started pushing this new Brimo that it wasn't easy. You know, the first concert we did was at Jazz Hall. Jazz Hall could only take about, say, 100 people, right? We did that one. A few months after, we did another one at the same Jazz Hall. That Jazz Hall could take 100 people, but we had over 300 people standing outside to come in. So it's a process. So at that point in time, we start to have the belief, you know, in what we do. But that is not to say that there's been other things we tried to do that we failed at. There have been a lot of things that we tried to put together, then it didn't happen. Of course, that's our own story. That is what we know. So while building a brand, please bear in mind that it can fail, and be consistent while you're doing that. Consistency is key, is the main thing. As long as you believe in what you do, as long as you know that you're not mediocre, keep going, keep doing it.
All right. Thank you so much, Larry, for that. Thank you so much, Larry. I'm going to be going straight to Amuche. Amuche, are you ready for me? So we're talking about consistency. We're talking about consistency. I understand from your job and what you do, you know, how important is that? And can you give us practical examples of how consistency has helped you in your journey working with creatives?
Oh, okay. So I'd like to use myself as an example in terms of consistency. And in doing that, I'll be echoing what Larry just mentioned. In this journey of life, be prepared to fail. You're going to fail. Life is going to hit you, and you're going to fall flat on your face. So in my own case, right, I had a very thriving career while I was in Nigeria. And I was a manager. I had my own team. I was reasonably okay, doing well in the tech space. And all of a sudden, I had an accident that nearly claimed my life. I'm lucky to be alive today. And during that process, I lost my job. Everything I held dear to my heart, like my job was an integral part of me. I lost it. So, but then during that process, it would have been a lot easier for me to dwell in it and be like, okay, where do I start from? Where do I pick myself up from? And understanding that in life, the trajectory is never straightforward. So at some point, I had to tell myself, okay, well, what has happened has happened. I had to pick myself up. And that was exactly what I did. Was it easy? Absolutely no. Because at that point, your ego will start to tell you, oh, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be this. I've given in how many years into this and I just lost everything. That is what your ego will tell you. But then knowing what I know about ego and purpose can never coexist. One has to die for the other. And in my own case, my ego had to die. I had to start afresh, which is what I did by coming to the UK and waiting for my master's as well. So, and in doing that, because I have been consistent throughout years doing the work I know how to do in the tech space, designing applications and stuff, the job I have now, I got it because, one, I put myself out there. I shot my shot. Two, I was able to, because it was something that I have done for a long time. I know this thing, wake me up. I can, speak about this thing, speak about building products, design applications and stuff. So I shot my shot and there was no provision for that role at all. I had to, when I came in, by virtue of the conversations I had with the founders, they noticed that they needed me. And that was how I was able to, get this role that I am in. And I'm sharing my story because we have been pretty much conditioned to hold our walls high up and not be vulnerable, right? And in being vulnerable, one thing I've learned in my journey is in being vulnerable, you also get people to, you key into people's journey as well, that this is not only you, more than when you compare to what the social media space, have taught us to, come to terms with. You have to appear a certain way. So which is why I'm sharing my story, to buttress the importance of being consistent, and also understanding that in this journey of life, you're going to fail. Life might not go the way you have planned it. And when you fail, you have to pick yourself up. Even if your ego begins to tell you so many stories, even if your ego begins to give you so many labels on how to label yourself, right? So pretty much that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll go right into Mike. Mr. Mike, Mr. Magic Mike. Tell us a little bit about your failures. You know, I've been following your journey for quite some time, from your days as an investment banker to now that you are, like you said, you're a Bitcoin practitioner and also an angel investor and the founder of the Free Me space. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and how has failure been part of this journey, and what have you learned, you know, working with creative and also developing your own personal brand?
Okay, well, I mean, first, you know, anybody here that works with creatives, I have to, like, you know, salute you and, you know, give you thumbs up and say congrats, you know, whether you're surviving or thriving. It's not an easy sector to be in. You know, I've been in the financial services space a long time ago, way back when. And yeah, you know, I'm able to compare sectors, I guess. So working with creatives has its rewards, but it is very challenging. I think that, you know, failures are, they're a lot, you know, they're a lot, as in, like, we all have shortcomings. But I think the most important thing that I've learned is to be as objective as possible, be able to take on board criticism, and then do whatever I can to try and right wrongs, right? I think that's the most important thing that one has to be able to do. But if we're talking about, you know, specifics, I mean, when we first started Free Me Music, or Free Me Digital at the time, we were probably the first distribution business, or one of the very early distribution businesses in the company focused on music. And I think over the years, you know, we got to figure out that I think that you know, having technology, or using the right technology, was always going to be important for our business. I think early on, we didn't really want to spend on getting the right technology in. We tried to hire in-house devs and did several things, you know, tried to build reporting portals and analytics platforms and all kinds of things. And then realized that, you know, even though we leverage on technology, we're not a pure play technology company. And I think it's situations like that where you realize, okay, we've tried this, we've tried several different ways and failed. Let's kind of like look at what we can outsource to actual professionals and focus on the core business. So I think, you know, if I relay that to what happens to artists sometimes, you know, an artist feels that he can be like a songwriter, a producer, you know, a marketer, he can do everything. And at the time, I think that was probably true, but then we probably saw a lot more failures back in the day because an artist was kind of like doing everything. I think in this day and age, my advice to artists and, you know, other people out there is be able to delegate as much as possible, be able to partner with you know, companies within the same space as much as possible. We used to do a lot of in-house PR as well, until we just realized that, look, actually, this isn't our forte, and why don't we just work alongside professionals? So I think, you know, every day, you know, Nigeria kind of like builds you to kind of like be as self-sufficient as possible, which isn't a bad thing. But I think what then happens is that we build quite short-term type businesses and we don't grow the ecosystem, right? So I think that's probably something that we all kind of like failed at over the years, but I think we're all collectively getting better at it. We still have a long way to go because Nigeria is Nigeria, trust is trust, and we know a lot of us fall short in several areas. But I think that as collectively as an industry, you know, I'm seeing some improvements. You know, so seeing some of the new age type PR companies come out, you know, some of the guys on this call who are doing excellent stuff, you know, who know a lot better than I do within specific spaces. I think that, you know, where we failed in the past is like potentially not working or collaborating more. I think where we need to get it right in the future is, you know, picking the right projects. Also not being sentimental about stuff and understanding that business is business, but trying to find out, okay, fine, you're better at this than me. Let's try and see if we can collaborate. The collaboration may not work. So failures continuously happen. Dust yourself off and try again, because another collaboration may work. So failure, I mean, that's all. Realistically, you will fail. You know, like Lanre said, you will fail. Embrace it. Learn from it. take it in and, dust yourself off. What actually makes you is how you get up and how you continue your career. Even the biggest artists have failed and got up and dusted themselves off.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michael. So like I said, we're going right into question and answer. Thank you so much, Michael. That was really good. Dust yourself up. You will fail. Failure is part of the journey. So right now, I'm going into the very first question. It says, what advice would you give those who think it's a waste of time in investing in their personal brand as a creative? Personally, I've worked with so many creative. I met them, comedians, actors, and so many of them, and they feel like, nah, I'm making money, it's enough. I don't need to invest in my personal brand. I want you to tell us, what advice would you give them? Why do you think it's important? Larry, I would like you to answer this question. Then if there's any other person on the panel that also have one or two things to contribute, please feel free to go ahead. Larry, over to you.
You should understand that it is never a waste of time to invest in your personal branding. You see, it is a mistake that even I here have made. About 4 years ago, I realized that I have been able to build a career as an artist manager, as a music business professional, right? But I failed to build a business. So that is one of the failures that I have experienced in my in my career or in my business life. So we should understand that there's career. Yes, you can build a career doing something. There's also building business, doing that thing. So it is never a waste of time investing or spending whatever it is, money, time, effort, into building your brand. It's never a waste of time. Please, it is something you need to do.
Awesome. Larry, we also have one more question from the audience. It says, what is the biggest challenge managing Brymo? I know you've been with Brymo for so many years. What has been the biggest challenge managing Brymo?
The biggest challenge in managing Brymo is the same challenge that you have managing anybody in the creative business. Like Mike has said, you're dealing with people who are very emotional. Creative people, first of all, are emotional people. Uche, I mean, we've worked with Uche a few times, and he knows. He knows. I mean, apart from working with Brymo, when I was working on the project with Adekunle Go, we worked with Uche, and I've heard him complain, as Uche will go here on the same panel. I've heard him complain a few times, So, so working with Brymo or anybody, any creative person, they are emotional, and you have to learn to be patient dealing with them. So the one very important thing is that you make sure that you have delivered. You do your job well, you deliver enough for them to trust your judgment, for them to trust your ability. So when you advise them, even though, at some point, I mean, creative people believe that they are all and all. So when you talk to them, they are able to listen. So the biggest challenge is having to deal with human being, basically an emotional human being. So it's like every other challenge, like working with anybody else.
All right, thank you so much, Larry. Next, we have this question for Amuche. He says, what advice would you give a person trying to start all over after a crisis? Trying to give, okay, so what advice would you give to a personal brand trying to start over after a crisis? What advice would you give a personal brand trying to start over after a crisis? Amuche, your question.
I think that question is coming from Precious Udo. Okay, so Precious, I think also that question is also for me as well, because I'm also trying to start over after a crisis. And one thing I would say is pace yourself. Pace yourself. Don't try to be in a hurry to build a personal brand, because after a crisis, the possibility that your mental health will be on the rocky path is there. And if there's anything I know from experience, is also social media has a way of also affecting our mental health as well. So from my own experience, when I came out from the hospital, I had to go off social media for like 6 months. and I concentrated fully on healing, like being fully healed, both mentally and physically, and also processing the pain that I have gone through. So I'm also on a journey of also building my personal brand as well. So one key advice I will give is pace yourself. Don't try to be in a hurry. To probably you have seen probably what this person has done or what B has done. It is your journey. It is your journey for a reason. So you have to, follow that journey on your own terms, really, and not any other person's terms. It is your journey, so just follow it that way. Like me, I'm hardly on social media these days anyway, because it is my journey and I'm prioritizing my mental health at this time, right? After the accident, I had another COVID complication that nearly took my life. So it's more like, just like Magic Mike said, that you are going to fail. So my journey is like, okay, I'm trying to heal from this crisis, and that crisis hits me again. So what do I do about that? And one thing I have learned is to be vulnerable and be authentic about my journey, right? And in doing that, if being on social media is going to be giving me, how will I put it? It's going to be giving me probably making my mental health not be stable. But then I know that I need my personal brand to be there. So one thing I have come to terms with is, so if I can't be on social media and be posting content, pushing out content creation and stuff, what else can I do? Is it possible for me to outsource it to a social media manager to be doing that for me while I take time for myself to heal as well? So I think these are things you might have to ask yourself, and also in asking yourself those questions, also be true to yourself. Yeah, that's the advice I would give to someone trying to build a personal brand.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amuche. Uche Hugo, over to you. We have this question specially for Uche Hugo, and it says, how can I brand myself as an entertainer? Please share 3 proven practical steps. And why is it so? Uche Hugo, I know you have worked with so many creative, Timmy Dakolo, Aramide, and the list goes on. So what 3 practical steps will you give this person to brand themselves as an entertainer?
So number one, what you don't know at all. So it's okay to come out and say, yes, I don't know this thing. I know clarity. I need clarity from this thing. I need everything so that I can move forward. So when I had a session with Timmy Dakolo, I mean, we all know Timmy Dakolo to be very, very amazing singer and stuff like that. But there was something that he needed. And the thing is, you don't need to hide yourself and say, yeah, I know everything. I mean, you just need you need to just open up and say, ask someone, get a coach, or a mentor, or someone, a personal brand, and I need help in this area. So before you can start running yourself, like I said earlier, you need to understand that you're a brand, you're a business. I like what Larry Lawar has done with Brimo. See, because branding yourself as an entertainer doesn't mean that you need to have the whole people coming for you and say, okay, I have close to like 1 million people, 2 million people, those are my people. For Brimo has Larry has done something that it's not everybody. Brimo is not for everybody. Brimo has his own fans. And today to tomorrow, if you go and if you ask, if Larry should put up a concert and say there's a Brimo concert this week, and you see that concert will be packed because he has his fans. He already own his fan. He has his own fan. So what you don't know. You need the clarity, number one, before you can brand yourself as an authentic, and you need to believe in yourself. Like I said earlier, you need to believe in yourself that you're a brand, you're a business. Because at the end of the day, people are watching you. People need to invest in you. But if you don't take yourself serious, I mean, nobody's going to invest in you. You can ask Michael Hugo. I mean, I'm so sure that he can't just invest in any artist. So you need to put structure in place. Take for instance, Adekule go drop song there about 3 years or 2 years ago there about. So on the norm, people come out and drop these singles and say, okay, I really I want to drop this song, and they just drop it. But what he did was he didn't really follow the norm, and he said, okay, I'm going to create a booth where a song booth where people will come and say and listen to my song and just listen to that single. It's not an EP, it's not an album, just a single, because you understand branding. You understand that you need to be unique. You need to have this point of difference for yourself, for your personal brand. Or as you create your brand as a designer, you need to have this unique essence so that you can be different. The Caveman came out, and it's not like we've heard the kind of song Cavemen are singing. I mean, those like Bright Chibeze, and they came with a twist, and they have their audience. So when you're trying to build a brand, you need to also understand that you need to create a unique USP for yourself so that you can actually grow faster. Number one, I said you need clarity. Number two, you need to believe in yourself that you are a brand, because people are watching you. People are going to invest in you. You see yourself as a business, not just, oh, I'm just a singer and that's it. And yes, so number three is you need to also have it at the back of your mind that you cannot do it alone. You need people. You need believers. You cannot do it alone. You need people who believe in you. You need your friends. You need people. If you cannot pay people to do some stuff for you, you can get your friends to do some stuff for you. And from that point, I mean, the sky is just a starting point for you. So let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing that people do, and it's very wrong. Logo is not the first thing you should create. Logo is the last thing or the least thing you can ever think of if you're creating a brand for yourself. Don't start with a logo. Logo is not the first thing you need to know. You need to understand who you are, where you are going to, what you want to be known for, what it stands for, what kind of music you want to play, you want to start singing. So now we have Tim Dakolo, we have R&B artists doing love songs and everything. But Tim Dakolo is someone that tomorrow, this Saturday, I'm sure he has a booking. But we have other people doing love songs. Shout out to everybody, but I'm just saying that you need to create this part for yourself that whenever they call you, you're there when it comes to whether wedding song, whatever it is. Just create a unique essence for yourself. Just create a point of difference for yourself. You don't need to follow the crowd. And again, when you're building your brand, you don't need to look at the numbers. You don't need to look at the numbers. Numbers are important, but they're not something you look at that at the end of the day is something that will people look at numbers as something that they need this urgently. Like, you need these numbers. If you don't have these numbers, that's it. You're not going anywhere. But numbers is just numbers. We have fake people on social media counting as numbers. Numbers are just numbers. But at the end of the day, you need a community to.
We'll have to run quickly.
Okay.
Hello, Uche. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, Uche. Just hold on a little. hold on a little bit. We have to run quickly so that we can take a few questions. We have questions in the comments, and also we also have other comments. Thank you, Uche, for that. You said something about having a unique selling proposition, and I would like Larry or Michael. Larry, you can give us your own view of the importance of having a unique selling proposition, and also Michael, you can give us that quickly in 1 minute each. Larry, why is it important that a creative, an artist, whatever you call yourself, why you should have a unique selling proposition? And Michael, you can also help us with that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Larry.
Okay. Yes, it is important to have that unique selling point, because that will help you identify, that will help you in not wasting any time at all. It's that simple. So that way, if you already know who your target audience are, and you already know how to reach them, you go straight to them. You go straight to selling to them. And when you already have your niche, you already have your market, then you start growing from there. It's that simple. So it is important to identify your selling point so that you can hunt that, and then people who love that thing about you will buy your market. I mean, again, like Uche said, you are a business. So you think as a creative, you need a team who would understand how to create a business off of your talent or your creativity. It's that simple.
All right. Thank you so much, Larry. Michael, quickly, how can I identify my unique selling proposition? I know you've worked with so many artists. How have you been able to work with them to identify their unique selling proposition?
So, I mean, I'll just give an example of, well, not an example, but theoretically, right? Okay, we're working with a new artist that we're launching in the next couple of months, right? He's a young artist trying to come into an already crowded space. And one thing that was key for us was to actually do a very, very in-depth SWOT analysis, right? We put a couple of artists in the same lane as him, next to one another, and we just did a simple SWOT analysis, right? What are his strengths, his weaknesses, opportunities and threats vis-a-vis these specific artists within his category? So we're able to identify, the strength within his DNA, because for us, it's about, okay, fine. We have a budget we're putting into a rollout campaign, and we don't want one kobo of that budget to go missing or to be inefficiently allocated. So we stuck to a SWOT analysis. We really looked and delved deep into it, and it helped us identify a unique selling USP for this particular artist against other artists that are in his lane, right? So I think something simple like a SWOT analysis is a great place to start with the team. You have a manager, friends, family, a team, a consultant, anything. And even by yourself, it's quite straightforward. So if you're thinking about tools, look at doing something like that. It helps a lot.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael. One other question I'd like you to answer, because we know you as an investor, we know you as a money man, we know you as so many things. So as an entertainer, is it possible to have a different brand from what I do to earn money? How do I balance it? Is it possible? So for instance, you're an entertainer and maybe you're a banker by day, entertainer by night. Is it possible to manage two different brands? How can this person make it work?
I mean, realistically, in the early stages, like anything, I mean, even if you remove your mind from being an entertainer, even as an individual or an entrepreneur, you'll potentially have your day hustle and your night hustle, right? So maybe you're a banker during the day and then you're selling fish in the night. Maybe you want to be a farmer, or you're a banker during the day and you want to be an artist. So you're in the studio in the night, right? I think in the early stages, you need to do that to try and prop up whatever your early career challenges are. Like you're using your salary and reinvesting it. That's the only time I see that as possible. I think when you get to the stage where you actually are earning an income or have a way to sustain yourself in that particular business line, don't go and confuse things, right? Focus. It's extremely important. You'll actually kill so many birds with one stone if your attention is not divided, right? Focus on your artistry, focus on the business, understand the business, discuss with your lawyers, your managers, just, go to conferences, listen to people, get mentors, everything, right? It's super important that you drill down as deep as possible. Because if your attention is divided, you won't, your skin is not fully in the game and you will miss opportunities. So early stages, yes, you can be divided and it's actually quite safe and it's sustainable for you. When you're in the midst of your career, focus. But you get to a stage of your career where you can actually start to diversify. Don't diversify too early, right? Now, I do know artists who are in the later stages of their career, and it's now about diversifying because the lifeblood of the music industry is new artists, right? So you can't be that number one guy forever. You have some guys getting into the twilight years, and they need to diversify, whether that's diversifying in the same sector, diversifying into allied sectors, or diversifying into sectors completely different. I mean, that's down to you. I'd always say try and diversify into the same sector first. So if you're a musician, potentially, I mean, the typical thing is what? A label, a management company, Banky W and EME moved into advertising space, right? They're still a media company, maybe just not focused as a label, but it's an allied space. So consider that before you just jump into becoming a cryptocurrency trader at the end of your career. Go easy on that. Go easy on that.
I mean,
thank you so much, Michael. That was a great one. Before you go into, guys, I told you, Michael is the Bitcoin chief. So if you need some Bitcoin, you need to hit up Magic Mike, as we all know him. So quickly, I want to ask Larry this question. The question says, how do I sustain my brand coupled with what I do as a creative? So this is basically in line with what Michael has said, going to allied industries. So let's use a practical example. Brymo. Not too long ago, we know Brymo either wrote a film or acted in a film or produced a film or something of that nature. How has he or how has you as the team been able to build like this structure such a way that is not only known for the music or for the performance? I know he has a book and so many other things. What's the mindset behind that, and how have you been able to make that happen?
So it's simply, when we started to sell the brand Brymo, we made sure that people perceive the brand as a creative. So Brymo does not only make music, he makes art generally. So when you see Brymo, in fact, if you notice, when you see Brymo on stage, or when you see the videos that we make for Brymo, it's not your conventional videos. So we try to put the mindset in people from the onset, from every little detail. Look at the album covers. I mean, since Merchant Dealers and Slaves to this moment, you will see that the album covers have always been art or selling art. So we've been able to subconsciously tune people's mindset to understand that, the Brymo represents art generally. So you can see him tomorrow, doing spoken word poetry, and you won't be surprised. You understand? And before he even gets into the movie, before he acted in the movie, he has made a couple of original soundtrack for many movies that many popular movies out there. So he has been able to romance that industry. That okay, you already see him as part of these people. So basically, if you are going to have a brand as a creative, again, it is for you to understand your brand. I'll say this again. You need to understand your brand from the onset. You need to know your limitation. Of course, you need to know your limitation. You cannot do it all. You cannot be everywhere. It's the same mistake that even we as managers make. A lot of times you see yourself as, I'm a manager, I can also do A&R, I can also do this, I can also do that, which is not true. You cannot be jack of all trade in this business. So you need to know your strength. And when you already establish one and you're already known for that, so you can use that brand that you have created to sell your other anything else that you do, basically. So basically that's it.
Thank you so much, Larry. Thank you so much, guys. This has been an amazing session. It's been all power. Mike, thank you. Larry, thank you. Amuche, thank you. And I just want to show you this. Amuche, you're getting so much love. People are showing you so much love. Your honesty, your authenticity, your vulnerability. People are really connecting with you. You know, like, you know, they just love you. They just love you. They just love you. Thank you so much. You know, so thanks, guys. This has been an amazing one. But before I let you go, how can we connect with you? What are you doing? What projects are you working on? So I would start with Amuche, you know, because they're showing you love. So Amuche, over to you. How can we connect with you? What projects are you working on?
Okay, so you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Chike Mezie. I'm quite active on LinkedIn. Then Instagram as well, am_Uche. Then right now, I'm currently working on healing properly this year. Then also starting out my consulting firm as well in the tech space. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So over to you, Magic Mike. How can we connect with you?
You can reach me at I am_Magic Mike on Twitter and IG. I guess I'm there mostly, Twitter most of the time as well. If you want to chat about anything related to music or cryptocurrencies, regardless of what. regardless what
we're coming to you. Yeah.
No problem. Regardless what I'm working on right now, we're undergoing a rebrand for Freemy Music. You know, we won our headies with the Cavemen the other day, so we're super hyped about that. So we're doing a little piece around that. We have a couple of new artists in the pipeline coming out. We're currently renovating the Freemy space as well. Also looking at a second real estate opportunity for Freemy Space 2 as well. That's in the pipeline. And working on new productions for Freemy TV. So if you have ideas around productions or you want to partner on something, also hit me up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Magic Mike. Uche Hugo, over to you. What are you working on? How can we connect with you? Uche Hugo, your mic. Okay.
Your mic is mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, we can.
So you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Uche Hugo, all across the board. And also, yeah, I'm working on quite a number of things. So the first one is working on a tech product on online education. Soon to come out. So creating that product and very soon to come out. Then also we have a master class for all through the year. So that's what exactly I'm working on. That really gets my heart. So and also tech product. So you can connect with me on Instagram. Then you can know more about master classes, or you go to series.uchehugo.com to find out one more and everything that I'm working on as regards to the master classes. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Uche Hugo. Larry Lawal, the consultant, as we know you as. How can we connect with you?
You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Larry Lawal, and on all social media platforms as Larry_Lawal. And yeah, what I'm working on, we are rebranding we are rebranding Clockwise Enterprise. We are moving into publishing and PR, corporate PR generally this year. So we're working on that. And then of course, Bremo is working on a new project, a new album titled 9 to be released in September. There's a ongoing process on that. And I am also working with a friend of mine who's based in Finland on a TV show. Mike, we might be giving you a call soon, so we discuss that.
No problem.
All right, so thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, guys. So please connect with them. Larry is at Larry_Lawal across social media platforms. The Bitcoin Chief, as I call him, he is at I am_Magic Mike. Amuche is I am_Uche. That's Uche. Then we have Uche Hugo at Uche Hugo across all social media platforms. Yes. So guys, please connect with them. Once you connect with them, if you want to follow them on LinkedIn, whatever it is, you want to collaborate with them, make sure you just follow them, slide into their DM. They will respond. They're willing to work with you. And don't forget, like Larry rightly said, if you have a project and you're looking for a space where you can shoot your music videos and do so many other stuff, or you're a creative and you're looking for a production team where you can work with and share your ideas, don't forget to connect with the Free Me guys. They're amazing. I've been there. I've attended so many concerts there. Michael is an amazing guy. They're doing great stuff. So make sure you follow them. And please, they accept Bitcoin. If you have Bitcoin, they accept Bitcoin. So guys, thank you.
Sorry?
Yeah. Are we working together this year, Michael?
Are we working together this year?
Oh, definitely. Why not? Why not? The year is still young. The year is still young, so there's a lot of opportunity. And I want to add to everybody watching. Everybody. Mecca's assembled us. Everybody has their own day-to-day things going on, and I think what's important is that how you approach us in the DMs is important. It's part of your personal brand. I'm sure a lot of us get hit up in the most strange ways. Baba, play my song. Baba, I won't blow. There's a lot of people hit us up. So please, it's very important because how you approach us is how we're also likely to have the energy to say, okay, fine, let's do this.
I agree.
So please, guys, bear that in mind for all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate your time, your wealth of knowledge.
So
yes, and most especially your contribution towards this personal branding space and the creative industry. Thank you so much, guys. We're going on a short break, and when we come back, we will move on in the show. Thank you.
Personal Branding Summit 2021.
Earn, impact, influence.
Personal Branding Summit 2021.
Earn, impact, influence.
Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining the Personal Branding Summit Day 2. Today was all about personal branding as a tool to sell your art. Personal branding as a tool to sell your art. So thank you so much for joining. We had amazing speakers, 4 amazing speakers. Uche Hugo of Uche Hugo Digital. We also had Amuche Ekemeze. We had Michael Hugo. I call him the Bitcoin Chief. And we had Larry Lawal of Clockwise Entertainment, and also the manager to Brimo. I know you guys know Brimo. Yes, controversial, very artistic, very unpredictable. Brimo is such a big brand, and we decided, you know what? We need somebody that is close to Brimo to come and speak about the Brimo brand, because you can't be in this space and not know Brimo and his contribution towards music and the creative space. So thank you so much, guys. It's been an amazing one. But before we go, I'd like to remind you that we have day 3 is tomorrow, Friday, the 26th of February is day 3. And we have amazing people. We have Bemi Fasasi, we have Joy Enegalu, and we have an amazing lady. They call her the social media Oga. She is Bolaji Ajibare. And these 3 amazing ladies, what would they be doing? They'll be showing us practical ways, practical steps on how to monetize your personal brand. Yes, you've learned so much. building your personal brand for nation building. Now you've learned how to build your personal brand for the creative industry and to sell your art. So tomorrow is all about monetization. How can I make money with this, my uniqueness and everything that makes me, makes up my personal brand? You want to learn that? Then you don't miss tomorrow's session. It's going to be power packed. I still remain your host and the convener of this Personal Branding Summit, Emeka Ebeniro. You can connect with me across social media platforms at Play Emeka. I repeat, at Play Emeka across all social media platforms. Remember, your personal brand is all that you will be remembered for. And one thing I would like you to also know is, they say, according to Zig Ziglar, if I like you, I follow you. But if I trust you, I will do business with you. Your personal branding is one thing you would use to get people to trust you. Remember, people buy from people they trust. So how can you build trust? You build trust with your personal brand. So don't forget tomorrow. But before we go, we would like to give a big shout out to
Personal Branding Summit is proudly supported by Connect Nigeria, China 5 Studios, Radiate Technologies, Embrace Media, Seats and Tickets, LB Digital, and powered by Kara Kuri.
Welcome back. Thank you to our sponsors. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Please, if you're watching this, make sure you're part of our Telegram channel where we give you up-to-date information behind the scenes and all of the things that you need to know about this Personal Branding Summit. Don't forget, you get up to 50% off. Yes, up to 50% off from China 5 Studios. Yes, China 5 Studios is giving up to 50% off on photo shoots. So all you need to do is go on Instagram at China 5 Studios, slide into their DM and tell them that, guys, we are from the Personal Branding Summit. I would like to claim my 50 or up to 50% off. So do that and you get up to 50% on your next photo shoot. One other thing, guys, on the Telegram group, make sure you're there. You get all this information. One other thing, like I'm your personal brand fixer with over 13 years in marketing communication. My personal branding workshop, I have it every month. And in the month of March, the good people at Connect Nigeria have decided to give you 40% off. Yes, instead of paying 50,000 naira, you get to pay only 20,000 naira. Yes, for the personal branding workshop. If that's something you're interested in, why don't you join the Telegram group? You get the link and I will see you in March where I'll be teaching you how to build a powerful, profitable personal brand. You've heard from so many of our speakers talk about this. Now it's time for you to go to the practical steps on how you can make this happen just for you. So guys, once again, I'd like to thank you once again for joining. My name is Emeka Ebeniro. You can call me Play Emeka. My friends call me Fire Emeka because I'm the fire speaker. And of course, I am your personal brand fixer. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. God bless.
Personal Branding Summit 2021.
Earn, impact, influence.